In this video, we're going to talk about number sets. The reason why it's so important for you to know the number sets is because very often on an exam, they'll ask you to write your answer to the nearest integer or round your answer to the nearest whole number. If you don't know what an integer is, or you don't know what a whole number is, you will not get your problem correct. The natural numbers are the numbers that you would naturally teach a young child to count with. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. The whole numbers are the natural numbers with the addition of 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. A good way to remember that the whole numbers include 0 is to look at the word whole. It has an O in it. That looks like a 0. The integers are all the whole numbers plus the negative whole numbers. So like -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Next is the rational numbers. They are all the integers, but they also include fractions, repeating decimals, and terminating decimals. Irrational numbers are numbers that are equivalent to decimals that do not terminate and are not repeating. An example would be 2.34758 and so on. It just keeps going on forever and it doesn't terminate. Real numbers are all the rational and irrational numbers. In other words, it's all the numbers on the number line. You may never have heard of imaginary numbers before. These are numbers that are not on the real number line. Imaginary numbers are the square root of negative numbers. Complex numbers are all of our numbers. They're the real numbers and the imaginary numbers. They're any number that can be written in the form of AI plus B, which is basically any number. Here's a graph of all of the numbers, the imaginary and the real. The graph shows the real number line that we are used to graphing on. But if you look above that line, you can see where the imaginary and the complex numbers fit in. There are two more ways we can group numbers. Prime numbers can only be divided by 1 and itself. An example would be 3, 5, 7. A composite number can be divided by 1 itself and at least one other positive number, such as 6. 6 is a composite number because it can be divided by 1, by 6 itself, and by 2 and 3. So 6 is a composite number. This is the end of this video. If you have any more questions, be sure to look in the notes section on the website under Concept 1. If you have any further questions, please feel free to ask Ms. Sheldrake. Thank you.